Hi everybody, I'm Marcia Riquero.
Hello, I'm Carol Cooper.
And we're here today with Dawn Cummings, who's the author of Message of Love. Hello, Dawn.
Hello, Marcia, and hello, Carol. My website address is www.spiritofdawn.com.
Lovely. Thank you very much indeed, Dawn. You describe yourself as a transformational healer, spiritual teacher, and a coach. Where did your journey start, Dawn?
My journey started, I was a hairdresser for over 20 years. And one morning I just woke up and said to my husband, I don't want to be a hairdresser anymore. I want to become a counsellor. So I studied and qualified and became a counsellor, but I realised I didn't want to be what I call the traditional counsellor, and I went down the route of holistic, and then I did psychotherapy, and I trained as a accredited life coach. But I felt all this was also for me to heal. Yeah, so going back to the question, which I've gone off a little bit off track. Yeah, so that's where my journey started, and I did one-to-ones, I helped people, but I think mainly what I'm trying to say here was that by training to be a counsellor, coach, healer, I helped others through their own transformational journey, because that's what it had done for myself, and I love helping myself, and I love helping others help themselves. So it all seemed to click in. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. So what services, if you like, do you offer now, Dawn?
No, since 6 years ago, when I actually wrote Message of Love, that is when I was shown, guided, whatever, that I needed to come away from doing one-to-ones.
Yeah.
I am a highly sensitive empath, and I give so much that it was like I needed to go into retreat to do the book, which I didn't understand at that time. So in that 6 years, I did a few odd one-to-ones, but basically I've been on that sabbatical, I suppose.
Yeah.
And then 2 years ago I had a hip replacement, so it continued. And I have written another book in that time as well. So really, I'm not offering my services other than the books at this stage.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. So what's the other book title?
My other book?
Yeah.
Invisible Wings, The Power of Invisibility.
Right. Fantastic. And have you got a copy with you? Because I've got a copy of Message of Love.
Yeah, I can get it, but I haven't got it on the table.
That's okay. That's okay. Don't worry. But maybe we will make reference to that. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Fantastic. Your book, Message of Love, explores your personal journey, if you like, and the various milestones that you've been through and how you've overcome them. I've read your book a few times now, and actually I really enjoy the journey that you take us through, and it's quite a personal journey as well. I'm quite struck though by one of the key messages that you have at the beginning of the book, and that says something along the lines of, we are God and God is love. So that's always like a profound, quite a profound message, really. What does that mean, Dawn, that we are God?
I think for me personally, because I was lost, didn't know who I was, had no identity, and I was doing this course, that course, trying to find myself. And it was literally, I think, that light bulb moment that I thought, this love is inside of me. And I felt that it was God. So I think that's why, I suppose, yeah, it's an internal thing. So I was looking externally, but it was an internal thing, and it was that light bulb moment. So it was like, oh, this, you know, yeah, it's God.
Yeah.
Even though from that even 6 years ago, even though I knew that then, it's still taken me 6 years to, you know, it's been that process still. So a lot of things that I might have said about God then have obviously changed more now. But I think back to your question, it was like a silly thing, you know, it's God is love and it is inside of us.
Yeah.
It is an internal thing.
So you're not actually saying that we ourselves are all gods. You're saying that what we're feeling is that love of God within us, almost like an internal motivator.
Yes, and in some ways, like you said, are you saying, are we? I feel it's there for us to choose. It's definitely there.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I feel, you know, quite passionate about it, as you can see. Put my hands here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have been talking. I knew about Jesus, but it's a bit like where I'm at now. I'm putting all these bits and pieces together myself, because although I have a strong faith and all these things, it's like now I believe that, and it's so poignant, and where we are in the world now, that
Absolutely.
it is about Jesus, you know. And this is why today I know that I thought this is meant to be today. And you know, and I will mention it, even though I would say 6 years ago. It's like the Psalm 82 verse 6. You know, you are the Lord your God, a messenger of love. And I feel that again, the book's called Message of Love, because when I did the course, I had all this love, but I didn't know what to do with it, if that makes sense. So back to finding God, and then being, because we're all messengers anyway. So it's quite intense, but lovely.
No, I didn't make the connection. I'm sure Carol will agree with this, between the scripture and the title of your book. I didn't make that link at all, really. So that for me is quite very interesting, because you make the distinction generally around a person's faith, spirituality, and religion. What is the difference between those three things in your mind?
Faith for me is my foundation. Spirituality allows me to express my faith, and so it's internal.
Yeah.
Religion to me is external.
Right.
So it is back to, I still believe that spirituality is an inward thing. That is, and this is where I'm at, I think, with the change, that I am my church inside. It's that divinity, you know, because I know God's love's there.
Yeah.
I'm confusing you.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm just fascinated listening to you talk about this stuff, because, as I say, I've read the book a few times. I've got all my little post-it notes inside of all the bits that really are quite, wow, that's really interesting, and that makes me think about myself and my life as well. And so, by what you've just said about the three things and the definition of the three, you can have all three of them in your life, working at different times of your life.
Yes, I think, to be fair, that makes more sense to me now than this is what is quite challenging, that I wrote the book then and where I'm at now, and we're going.
Yes, you've moved on.
What I believed 6 years ago. And I suppose that's why, when I found, because I'm doing a Bible class course, and it is because I believed in God. I knew I was spiritual. I wasn't bothered about the religious part, but I needed to put all these components that I understood together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so really you can see where I'm at.
Yeah.
So that's why, and then Jesus, that's why that psalm, I don't know, really, well, I do know, because that's how I was meant to say it. You are the Lord your God, a messenger of love. And don't you think that is much like the question, God is love? It's in, it seemed to sort of be the same thing.
It links together. Yeah. And it
Yeah.
gives me a bit more clarity on where that is coming from, because when I first read it, and actually every time I've read it since, I get the bit where it says God is love, and then the bit that we are love, I understand that, but then we are God was the bit where I was getting sort of having those internal tussles with myself about what does that actually mean. So hence why I brought it to you as a question. So, but that's given me a lot to think about, and some good explanations there. Thank you for that, Dawn.
Thank you.
Dawn, my question to you is who or where do you turn to when you need answers for those difficult questions that we all have from time to time?
From where I was to before, I still had this very strong faith. So I would pray then, because I didn't need anything I just believed. It's not, I didn't need any proof or anything. Now it's more simpler for me, because I literally do surrender and speak to God. And whereas before I wasn't asking enough, I now know I'm worthy of asking. So I have what I call my spiritual practice, which is my life, really. I get up in the morning and it's strange because I can say this now, that I will do my worship, whereas before I wouldn't have, 6 years ago, even though I'm saying what I'm saying about God, it's quite emotional, really.
Yeah.
And I can see that. Yeah.
Different journey, an absolutely different journey now.
But that's why. Thank you.
Yeah, it's exciting. It is exciting.
It is exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting.
And it's a great fountain in our lives, because I found this spiritualness a long time ago, and I'm living this with you now for many, many reasons. But you're very honest in your book, which is, credit to you. That's a wonderful thing about some of the experiences you've had. So how important was it for you to share your experiences in the way that you have? And what did you hope to achieve at the end of that?
It was always about sharing the story, because I knew that I had to go through these it felt awful things at the time. And because I've always helped myself, as I said, I wanted to, when I decided to write this book about love, it's like, well, why do I do that? But when you start compiling your stories together, and I'm passionate about life and love. So to be able to help, and if it was, I've been told one person, one chapter, and again, that first chapter, that's why I wanted to be in your face, if you like, even though I didn't understand it at the time. Really?
You've got to be.
I can only be transparent, or I can't be, right now, I can only be me. But so, yes, I wanted, like, helping share about my dad and my own personal experience with the premenstrual and just the emotional stuff. Again, I'm highly sensitive empath, so I know I've helped so many already, and I'm ready for that next stage because I know it's going to be a third book.
Great, we look forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously,
It's going to be a third one.
I mean, obviously, it's an emotional time for you, talking us through the stages of where you are now. So do you think you've achieved what you wanted to? And what's been the feedback from others?
Yeah, I mean, with Message of Love, obviously, yeah, I've had some lovely testimonials. Marcia was one of them at the early stages, and I'm not a person though that actually, I'm not very good with the marketing and putting myself forward. So it's only been with Panoma Press that have helped me. I mean, obviously there's more opportunities, but I am more invisible than I am visible because I'm an introvert. So. But I think overall, yeah, it's me that needs to get. My books are beautiful, they're amazing. So it's all about me still. No, it's not about me, you know what I mean? But my process is.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, I think when I looked at the email that you both sent or Marcia sent about, your achievements, well, my first achievement would be, I know perhaps I'm coming in a bit interfering there, but would be having my daughters, because that's wonderful. But I think writing the book and publishing the book has to be my biggest achievement. But I've achieved loads, but because me write a book?
Well, yes, and wonderful, isn't it, when you start to write, put pen to paper and start to write it, and then you realize that you've got so much inside. So you do cover a number of areas that are clearly interlinked. And by example, it's building of esteem, developing self-confidence, as well as encouraging the reader to be more skilled in managing personal change. So it would have been easy for you to leave this section out. So why was this area of particular importance to cover?
Well, like I said, when I first started the journey, even doing the counselling, because I knew it was me healing me, obviously my changes have been huge, and that in itself has been a challenge because you're changing anyway, and then those around you, and obviously mainly family, then you've got people going, well, you're trying to become confident and strong, but there's other people, so they were threatened. I'm still trying to think, well, this is good, why shouldn't I be? So I feel that would be why it's important to mention that it is still about your self-worth, self-esteem, lifting yourself up. You can do it. Does that help?
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. Thank you for explaining that.
I mean, my favourite chapter of all the chapters really is the one where you talk about power, and you talk about you are powerful, and you encourage the reader to explore what that actually means and what finding the power is all about. In your words, though, what does it mean, and how does finding our power help us?
I think it's very linked to the question that Carol was just asked, because again, because I've always been shy, and me be powerful, it's not allowed to be powerful, but the journey, and God is trying, so you can be powerful, but it's not abusing that power. And so in one breath you've been told self-worth, so you've got to empower yourself. So it's a fine line really, I suppose, to own your power without, but to me, in my way I've been brought up, it was like, what do you think you are? So it's like that scales of you're strong, I'm powerful, and then someone might say something and you just lose that. So to me, it's important, because I have all my life really given my power away. So, yeah.
So you're learning as you're going on through this journey of life. You're learning more about yourself and recognizing some of the things that, you know, maybe you would do differently
Yes.
if you're in that position now. And
Yeah.
you know, hindsight is a great thing. If only we had this time machine that we could go back in time and you know, sort some of that stuff out. But we learn from it, don't we? And we use it as a way of moving on. But for me, that chapter, above all the others are great and give you real nuggets. But maybe because of where I was at and what I was trying to do and what I was trying to achieve, that resonated with me, that chapter, the most. And it's one of the chapters that I will go back to and just reconnect with when I need that time to be thinking about what's going on for me. And, you know, we hear, don't we, all the time, we get messages fired at us from all different places. And actually we have to stop sometimes and think, well, actually, is that really about me? Is that message for me? Because sometimes they're not for you. People are saying them, but it doesn't mean you have to take them on. And that you are powerful helps you to understand that about you. So
but strangely enough, because it's called I Am Powerful, at that time when I wrote that, it still didn't, that's why it's good that you're bringing up. It's like, you know, I am powerful. It's like I wanted to tell people they are.
Yeah.
Now I understand it now.
Yeah.
I'm reclaiming my power. But then, so it's quite a strong statement at that stage, wasn't it, to write it? But it needed to be heard or read.
Absolutely. Now, you've talked about your greatest achievement being writing your books. Now you've got more than one. So that's been your greatest achievement. What has been your greatest regret, do you think?
To be honest, I don't have, because when I looked at that question, I thought, I don't really have regrets, because I don't see them as regrets, because I feel everything that I go through is my lessons and, you know, to make me stronger. But if there had to be a regret, and we've gone over it already so many times, would be to, you know, not believing in myself. That would be my only regret, because all through my life, that's what's really I believe in divine timing and God's got the plan. You know, perhaps it's meant to take this time to believe in myself, but that would be the only regret. But I don't have regrets, because I'm such a positive person and I love life that I just always try and turn everything on its head. So, but that would be, if you like, a regret, because I suppose I'm going, oh, in hindsight, if I had more belief, I wouldn't be at this stage now, but I'm meant to be at this stage.
Yeah. Thank you.
So
Sorry, Carol. How would you define success?
Success to me is success to me is who I am. You know, I don't have to success. I think success is a bit like the regret word. Success is who I am. You know, I don't know really whether that's, I think just me being me in my life.
Do you consider yourself to be successful?
Yes, strangely enough, even though I'm saying because I've worked hard, I have achieved so much in, you know, little things, big things. So because I'm successful because I feel I put the work in, and I again believe that if you help yourself, God helps you, or, you know, whatever people want to. I keep going about God. Not everybody likes the word still. It's, you know, it can be divine. source.
But this is your interview. This is your interview. So you use whatever
Yes.
words you want to
Yes.
use. We want to hear about your perspective on this. You know, and that may not sit with some people, but equally it may sit with a lot of people really well.
Yes, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that, and really, that's something I've heard for years and years. You know, that if you help yourself, God will help you. Because I am a Christian. I've been lost, like I said, because you know why I've been lost? Because I didn't go back to that question earlier. Can I ask? You know, where did I go to ask? I was trying to do it all on my own.
Yeah.
So I feel I'm successful on this path because it's been ups and downs.
Yeah. Thank you.
Dawn, what two things have contributed to your professional journey?
Two things.
Two things of any description
that have contributed to my journey. Do you mean something that's come in and helped me, like doing a course, or do you mean just something personal for me?
Absolutely, anything at all, anything that you can think of that has just helped you along to get you to where you are today.
Okay. Well, faith, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely faith. Without question, and that again, I was told I had this strong faith years ago, and I thought, well, I don't know what you're talking about, because to me it was in me. I didn't need any evidence. I just had this strong faith. So yes, that, and strength.
Yeah, strength.
Faith, strength, yeah. Because that's something I say every day. God is my strength.
He is to us all, absolutely.
Yeah.
So absolutely, Dawn. Yes. Dawn, is there a book that you recently read that has had a significant influence on you, and why?
Yeah, I've read a lot of books. Again, if you say recently, I think the recent one would be what's his name, Nick Borchetti, the one that's bless him, was born with no limbs. He just
yes.
When I first read that, it's like a bit like what I'm sitting here. Come on, you can do anything, woman. You know, it just put everything into perspective with him, and now he's amazing. So, and recently, funny enough, I've shared his book again because he's just, and the way he talks on his videos, so inspiring. And so that is very, it's like, oh, right, this minute, what, woman? Come on, you can do anything.
Gives you that bit of a boost, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Does put life into perspective.
Yeah. Or anything. It's just that what a guy, because it is, you know, you know, if you see someone that's blind, they don't see, but they're happy, they're smiling, they feel I'm very touched by all those sort of, you know, rightly so, and we all are.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
so important in life, isn't it?
Yeah.
So reflecting on your experiences, how do you think you have supported others to achieve, and what have been their feedback on their interactions with you?
Right, I feel, going back to when I did one-to-ones and workshops and things like that, in a simple way, it was about me just being me. So at those times, I could just be me, and I didn't worry about what I said. Like I might be worried about now listening to what they're going to ask me. And so it was more about what I shared and who I was and what I maybe suggested and what we did in the course or the one-to-ones. They went away. Well, they come in one person and went away another, and they really did want to change or change something in their life. They did want to follow their dreams. So that would be a way I would describe how just being me helped them want to achieve that in themselves, maybe.
Yes, well, that's wonderful. And I think that's a great power, just being yourself and just being able to be yourself when you're interacting with
Yeah,
people anyway. So that's
yeah.
that. So, Dawn, what does the future hold for Dawn Cummings, the author? What happens next?
You know what? Even with what's going on in the world now, it's so exciting.
Hmm.
The future holds so much. And if anything, it feels very sacred future. Yeah, I've always said for a long time that when people say, "Oh, you know, you retire," no, I've got too much to do, and so I know where we are now because again, even though I've been invisible, I know I've helped bring a lot of people along with everybody else, not just me, to where we're at now. But it's a bit like now it is, if you like, Dawn's time, or God wants me to go, and it's the future is amazing for everybody, I feel, because this is why
Yeah,
we're experiencing this now. It's
lots
like,
of new beginnings.
you know,
Yes,
it's
so
like
lots
you got to shake you all up. So yeah, the future holds. I feel it's going to be another life for me.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. So, Dawn, how can people get a hold of you if they're interested in finding out more about what you do?
Well, definitely on my website, which is www. That's four W's, was it? No, three W's dot spirit spiritofdawn.com, and it is just for my books. It tells a lot about me in my books, and then I've got obviously my business Facebook page, which is Spirit of Dawn, Messenger of Love, and WhatsApp. No, is it WhatsApp? Instagram. No, which one is it? Instagram, isn't it? Is Spirit of Dawn Bexhill. And then I've got email address. Do you want the email address? Which is
Yeah.
Dawn.
If you're happy to share that, that'd be lovely. Thank you.
Yeah, Dawn Aurora at hotmail.co.uk. Now the Aurora means dawn, so that's why I've had it ages now. Dawn Aurora at hotmail.co.uk. So
Thank you
and then
very
also
much.
got thank you.
It's been a real pleasure to be in conversation with you today. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for having
It really
me.
has. Yeah.
Eventually.
This is the part of the interview where we get to sum up some of the messages that we're taking away from what you've said. And it has been a really emotional journey, I think, for all three of us, really. Listening to you explain why you wrote the book and took me back, really, to the first time of reading it and how it manages to press some of those buttons that gets you thinking. And at times there were times when I put it down because I thought, you know what, I don't even want to go there just yet. But there's something about it that makes you want to pick it up again and have a look and say, well, actually, what is she trying to say here? What is this all about? And I love a book like that. I love a book that I can dip in and out of that makes me question myself and question what I'm supposed to be doing and my own interpretations of things. But there are a couple of things really that I'm taking away, and one of them links in directly to what I've just said, which is about retaining your personal power. And that doesn't happen the once. That happens in stages across your life where you have to go back and reclaim this power because you've shifted and you've changed. And as you've said, in terms of your journey, what you were thinking when you wrote the book 6 years ago is not quite the same as where you are sat today. Our thinking changes, doesn't it? So that thing about reclaiming your power happens in stages is a good note to self.
Yeah, perfect.
That just because I've done it that one time or that twice, it doesn't stop there. I am probably going to have stages where I continue to keep reclaiming that power because of some of the messages that we hear and we get. And being yourself helps others to be themselves. Love that. So being yourself helps others to be themselves. And you talked about that in terms of helping others to achieve their goals. So for me, that's, you know, they are the two things in particular that I'm taking away. And I just want to say thank you again for that, really, for that reconnection, if you like, with this material. CC, what about you?
A few things actually, because my journey through my life has been slightly different in the fact that I, was spiritually involved as a teenager and taught Sunday school and went to Bible class and I did all the things. But as you say, back then, you take it seriously, but you don't always understand. And like Marcia's just said, throughout stages in your life, you have to reconnect to understand where you're going with all of this, and I pray every day, and I also say my gratitudes every day, for which I'm grateful for having the opportunity to do so. So learning from you, it's about finding the power, readdressing the power throughout your life, and not being afraid of that, because you obviously aren't. You do question yourself, and you do think, oh, goodness, am I saying, well, what am I saying? Do people really understand it? But like Marcia has just said as well, being yourself helps others to understand themselves and puts them at such ease. And I think that's a great message from this interview today. To differentiate, being able to differentiate between your own power but equally, I think as Marcia said earlier on in the interview as well, that you don't always have to take on board everything, as long as you understand it. So a great understanding for me today, and a great recognition of the changes in my life throughout the years. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. We're work in progress still. Like that.
We are.
We have to keep going back.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think you're there, because we'll never be there until we go back home. But it's like, so we're gosh, I mean, I've worked so hard. It's been like 20 years and years, but it's good because So, but it means so much that I didn't expect this interview to be for you two personally. So to hear that you personally have got a lot from it means a lot to me. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And thank you, Dawn. Thank you so much. An absolute pleasure.